Actually, guys, let's just go ahead and roll that. Let's play the audio clip. Here's James Comer talking about that 200,000 grand.
This summer, Joe Biden said, "Where's the money?" Well, we found some. We're still digging into evidence subpoenaed from bank accounts belonging to Hunter Biden, the son of President Joe Biden, and James and Sarah Biden, the brother and sister-in-law of the president. A document that we're releasing today raises new questions about how President Biden personally benefited from his family's shady influence peddling of his last name and their access to him. Bank records obtained by the House Committee on Oversight have revealed a $200,000 direct payment from James and Sarah Biden to Joe Biden in the form of a personal check. Here's some important context about this check we've obtained in our investigation. In 2018, James Biden received $600,000 in loans from AmeriCorps, a financially distressed and failing rural hospital operator. According to bankruptcy court documents, James Biden received these loans, quote, based upon representations that his last name, Biden, could open doors and that he could obtain a large investment from the Middle East based on his political connections, end quote. On March 1st, 2018, AmeriCorps wired a $200,000 loan into James and Sarah Biden's personal bank account, not their business bank account. And then on the very same day, James Biden wrote a $200,000 check from this same personal bank account to Joe Biden. James Biden wrote this check to Joe Biden as a, quote, loan repayment. AmeriCorps, a distressed company, loaned money to James Biden, who then sent it to Joe Biden. Even if this was a personal loan repayment, it's still troubling that Joe Biden's ability to be paid back by his brother depended on the success of his family's shady financial dealings. Some immediate questions President Biden must answer for the American people. Does he have documents proving he lent such a large sum of money to his brother? And what were the terms of such financial agreement? Did he have similar financial agreements with other family members that led them to make similar large payments to him? And did he know that the same day James Biden wrote him a check for $200,000, James Biden had just received a loan for the exact same amount from business dealings with a company that was in financial distress and failing? The House Oversight Committee will soon announce our next investigative actions and continue to follow the money. The bank records don't end here. There's more to come.
That's Joe Biden. That is the president of the United States doing his, that's his foreign influence peddling business. Hunter Biden acting, I guess, as his president or the CEO of the Joe Biden Corporation, because that's exactly what it is. And I wanted to get a taste of that before we move on to this speech. And I'll come back to that. I'll come back to that a little later. Because there's a reason why Joe Biden, we'll talk about the speech, but I want to talk about some of the things that Joe Biden didn't talk about in the speech. And there's people out there that are trying to make this issue with Ukraine and Russia. It's the same war as Israel and Hamas, and nothing could be further from the truth. No matter where you stand on these issues, and I've talked about that, there's a couple of great articles, one from Breitbart, one from the Federalist that we'll get into. But no matter where you lie on this particular issue, and I got to tell you guys, listen, I'll be upfront with you. I think I am more of a war hawk. Like I want a huge military. I shouldn't say a war hawk because I don't want our men and women going to war unnecessarily. I'm one of these people that believe if our soldiers need to go to war, America should have an interest there. We should kick butt, kill as many people as possible, break as much stuff as possible, and get the heck up out of there. None of this nation building stuff. If someone has beef with us, we go ahead, we take care of business, we get in, we get out. And then we're so emphatically dominant that the people never want to see us again. Their children's children will talk about the U.S. military. That's the way I believe the conflicts should be fought. Now, so we'll get into that a little later. But having said that, there's some things RNC research put out that Biden didn't talk about yesterday in his primetime speech. And that is one, no mention of the southern border. Guys, listen, if you've listened to my podcast, you've listened to me fill in here for the Officer Tatum or Mike Gallagher or Dennis Prager. I've talked about this border issue. I don't want this border issue to go to rest. I think it is going to come back to haunt us. I really do believe that. I do believe that the terrorists have actually. I know that our government knows that. What they call special interest aliens, illegal aliens that have come from hot zones where terrorists are or terror activity is or was have crossed our border. That doesn't include the getaways. We don't know how many people are included in the getaways. But for Joe Biden to sit there and give a primetime speech where he mostly did not talk about Israel, but he mostly talked about Ukraine, I thought it was a horrible speech. I thought it was very misdirected, and I thought it was a missed opportunity to stand strong and to stand for both the nation of Israel and for the people, the Jewish people, Jewish Americans that are being literally persecuted on college campuses around the United States of America. He missed a huge opportunity, in my opinion. But again, he didn't talk about the southern border. Why didn't he talk about the southern border? Because the southern border is a detriment to him, and he knows it. But there's a reason why the southern border is open, and we all know it. Actually, there's several reasons. For one, you don't have the left wing that are reproducing babies. They're killing their babies. And sadly, many Republicans aren't having enough babies, but the left, at least we are having some. But the left, many of them believe in abortion, and they're killing their babies. Now, not the elites. Those are luxury beliefs. They don't kill their babies, and they don't believe in climate change. But if Joe Biden were to talk about the border, obviously he would look bad. He would look bad. Democrats need the border open. Now Democrats are the party of big business. You understand that? It used to be, we used to call them country club Republicans. They were the party, right, of the elites. They were the party, or we were the party of big business, as they would say, when quite frankly, everyone was. All right, but now it is mostly the Democrat Party that are in bed with corporations. They've got this little fascist thing going on that they absolutely love, working with big tech and censorship, working with major corporations in order to promote their agenda. That's what the left is. That's what they do. But they love illegal immigration. They can bring in cheap labor. The only people that are really going to be getting paid are union workers, while poor Americans and middle-class Americans are going to take a pay cut, and we already are with inflation. So Joe Biden had no interest in talking about the southern border. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that insane? Oh, by the way, I read up on this. I didn't even realize this. This was on Hat Tip to CNS News. Let me find it here. Sometimes I'm weird like that. I'll read stuff in my phone, and I've got like 1,000 tabs open on my phone. It's pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see. I don't see it. Anyway, I've got it on here somewhere. But basically, let me share. Oh, here it is. Humanitarian aid to Gaza. So Biden announces the $100 million. We all talked about that. We ragged about that. Very stupid decision. Very, very, very stupid decision for Joe Biden to offer $100 million humanitarian aid to Gaza, because when he does so, he's basically giving that money to Hamas. Little did I know, I didn't even realize this, that just earlier in the week, just days before, he committed to giving Hamas essentially $100 million. Did you know that they had already stolen some humanitarian aid just earlier that week that we had sent in, medical supplies and what have you? So just days after we shipped humanitarian aid to Gaza, Hamas stole it, used it for their own use. We didn't learn our lesson. Oh, no, we're going to give them $100 million, essentially a down payment to go and kill more Jews. That's all that is. That's a down payment to go and kill more Jews. It's sickening. It is sickening.